All right, so the U19 World Cup just wrapped up, and after watching several of the games, here are some of my first impressions really for some of the players on USA Basketball, and then one player on Germany. So for most of these guys, it was the first time for me watching them, my first impression on them. So we're going to start in reverse age order, or the youngest to the oldest. So we're going to go with next year's high school class, starting with the number one player in that class, Tyrann Stokes, who I'd seen a little bit of in previous games. I just like the fact this guy plays with a ton of energy. He's very competitive. He's a really good athlete. He's got good size. And I'm very excited to continue watching Stokes and his progression over the next year or two here. Next up is Jordan Smith, who is a 6'2" guard from St. Paul. You know, he is a guy who's certainly on Duke's radar, albeit they've wanted bigger guards. So I was a little bit confused by that of late. But man, this guy is extremely athletic. He's got a good wingspan. He's a good shooter. I understand the interest. And then lastly, from class of 2026 high school players, Caleb Holt, I thought played really well. Was very active, got in the passing lanes, could score in transition. I thought he had a really good showing in this tournament. Now for the freshmen, this year's upcoming freshman, I should say, AJ Dybantsa, I thought he had a solid tournament. He did a really good job continuing, as I've seen a little bit from him in high school, of just getting to the free throw line, where he's an excellent free throw shooter. He just does a really good job of drawing fouls and getting to the line. Koa Peat, who was coached by his future coach at Arizona in Tommy Lloyd, just had an excellent rebounding tournament. He's a good defender, a guy who likes to shoot from that mid-range area. And then AJ Dybantsa's high school teammate, JJ Mandikit, I thought had a good tournament just as a steady, solid point guard. I don't expect him to be a one and done or even a two and done, but I do think this is a guy who could play 4 years in college and then be, a 10-year pro as an NBA player. He's just such a steady, solid player, even though he's a small guard. That's not, in vogue right now. And then lastly, Hannes Steinbeck, who played for Germany, had an excellent tournament. He's listed at 6'9". He plays bigger than that. He's a very versatile player, can guard multiple positions, can score from multiple places on the court. He did really well. He's going to team up with Mandikit at Washington. And then the guys who were college freshmen who are now going to be college sophomores, Morez Johnson, watch out. This guy's, I think he's going to have a really big year pairing in the front court with Yaxel Lendeborg. If Michigan gets the outside shooting that I think is a little bit suspect, but maybe they play up to it because of the threats inside, they could go really far next year. And then finally, Daniel Jacobson had a solid freshman year for Purdue. I think he's going to have some steady improvement for Purdue next year and, up his numbers from, I think they're about 6 or 7 points for rebounds. Maybe he gets double-digit points, 5 or 6 rebounds this year. So let me know what you guys think. What were your takeaways after the U19 Basketball World Cup? Until next time, peace.